Hi, welcome to the IHC Craft Room. I'm Mary. In today's video, I'm excited to show you how I made this St. Patrick's Day inspired ribbon wreath. I'll show you all the steps and all the materials. So grab all your stuff and let's get crafty. This is Mary. Welcome to the IHC Craft Room. For materials, we'll begin with a 14-inch wire wreath frame, 2.5-inch wired ribbon in dark green and gold patterned, 2.5-inch wired ribbon in a Gnome burlap and white burlap, but I did not use either of these ribbons. I was going to use them for a bow, but decided to leave the bow out. 1.5-inch wired ribbon in a shamrock pattern and a white burlap. Just a wee bit Irish decorative sign. How cute is this? Some glitter shamrock picks, some gold coins from the IHC Craft Stash, and a bunch of pipe cleaners. For tools, we're going to need our friend Gus the glue gun, a pair of scissors, and some toothpicks. For this ribbon wreath, we'll be making multiple ribbon bundles to create the base. Since we're using 4 different ribbons, we have a lot of cutting ahead of us, so let's talk about it. We'll be working with 4 wired ribbons, cutting each to about 9 inches long. And since each bundle will include all 4 colors, we're going to need to cut 24 pieces of each one so that we end up with 24 bundles in total. When I have a lot of things to cut to the same length, I like to measure out the first piece and then use it as my template for the rest of the pieces. I find it faster, and since I don't really care if the ribbon is the exact right length, then it really works out perfectly for me. The only tip I have here is to make sure you have some seriously sharp scissors, because cutting through that wire can be a real pain with dull scissors. And I'm saying that incredibly bitterly because I'm speaking from experience. Okay, you get the point. Cut all the ribbon to around 9 inches in length, okay? Now, this next step you can totally skip if you want to, but I definitely didn't because what does Mary love? Say it with me, kids. That's right. Mary loves a dovetail finish to her ribbons, doesn't she? Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. So I'm going to go ahead and dovetail them all before we move on to the next step. Like I said, you can skip this, but why would you want to? They look so pretty. I'm starting with 12 full-length green pipe cleaners and cutting them in half to get 24 pieces for our ribbon bundles. To make the bundles, we'll start by crisscrossing one ribbon over the last, making sure to mix gold, dark green, white, and the shamrock pattern. We want all 4 ribbons front and center, or at least visible. Then we're going to scrunch up the ribbon right there in the center of our crisscross. And then using a pipe cleaner, we're going to bundle that ribbon together, give it a few good twists, and there you go. Now let's keep making bundles until we have all 24, and then we'll be ready to move on to securing them to the base of our wreath. The pattern for attaching these bundles is very straightforward, but it'll be a bit hard to see using the ribbon bundles, so let's chat about it a bit first. We'll be securing 3 bundles to row 3, starting with the crossbar, and then another 2 bundles to row 2, making sure to spread them out to cover the whole section. So let's go ahead and secure the first bundle to the crossbar and 3rd ring. Then we'll do the same thing with the other crossbar and add a 3rd bundle right in between, keeping them evenly spaced. To complete this section, we'll add in 2 more bundles, but this time to the 2nd ring, filling in the gap left in between the first 3 bundles on row 3. Voila! We've completed one section. Let's keep doing that all the way around the wreath frame, and then it'll be time to move on to the next step. 99% of the time, I buy my decorative signs at Dollar Tree or Dollarama, but I used my trusty 40% off coupon at Michael's to get this wee bitty sign. And since it's meant to sit up on a table, it's a lot heavier than the signs I usually use. So I'm going to go ahead and use the help of my friend Gus the glue gun and add not just 2, but 3 pipe cleaners to make sure this sign doesn't fall off unexpectedly. That would be no bueno, mi amigos. As usual, I'm using a stick or a toothpick to push the pipe cleaners down into the glue and make sure that they get really well enclosed in that glue. And to make extra sure of that, once the glue is dry, I'll go back and add another layer of glue over top. I know, I'm extra, and what? Now let's give this sign a little bit of time to dry, and we're going to move on to my favorite part, putting it all together. The glue is nice and dry, so let's go ahead and secure this sign to the wreath frame. Since it's a cute hat, I decided to place it at the very top of the wreath. That looks fantastic. Now I'm going to cut the stems off these glittery shamrocks and set them aside because I want to finalize the base before we add in our accents. First, I'll give the pipe cleaners on our sign a few more good twists before I cut off the excess, and then I'm going to systematically make my way all the way around the wreath bundle by bundle and spread out the ribbons. Curl the wires to help them fan out and just adjust them so that we can see the ribbons really well and the frame totally disappears behind them. I'll spare you from watching me make my way around the wreath fluffing ribbons, and since Gus is nice and toasty now, let's start gluing on some gold coins and glittery shamrocks here and there. Pretty much wherever my little heart desires. And lastly, let's tie some jute cord onto this guy so that we can see what he looks like hung up on the wall. He's a wee bit Irish with a sprinkle of luck, and if you don't like my wreath, well, I don't give a... you thought I was going to say it, didn't you? No, no, no. So what do you think? It came out so pretty, right? I'm super thrilled with the end result. I've never made a ribbon wreath like this before, and I was a little bit concerned that you'd be able to see the wreath frame kind of poking through all the ribbon bundles, but you can't. It's just a matter of really fanning out the ribbons and fluffing them up and making them take up a lot of space because you really want them to shine. That's the whole point of this wreath. It's a ribbon wreath. And using statement pieces and specific types of ribbon that really bring forward the theme is a great way to really showcase them and end up with a beautiful thematic wreath like this one. Simple to make and beautiful too. So I'd love to hear what you think about it in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about wreath making, check out one of these videos. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!